And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Jonesin with Jeff Drake.
All right. Hey, kids, welcome to Jonesin with Jeff Drake. I'm your host, Jeff Drake, and I'm welcoming myself back from the holidays. Me and Plonk took the month of December off, and it's a good thing we did because I was sick for all December. Plonk was sick for all December. He's still sick. And, he sent me a text. Usually, he's screaming at me. Like right now, he's screaming at me in my can. I was like, I can hardly stand it when I turn to him. Anyways, like, Mr. Drake, sir, like, hold it right there, Plonk. Enough of this Mr. Drake stuff. Sir is fine. And he's, can we please take the month of December off? I want to spend it with my family. And, I have a feeling I'm going to get sick. All right, that's fine. I'm just picturing tears streaming down his face. And I figured he earned it. We've been working hard this last year. So anyway, he's screaming at me right now. Don't forget the monologue, Jeff, like a la Carson. I'm like, all right, where's my team of writers? Anyway, yeah, he said Carson did this every night. All right, again, the team of writers. So anyway, so we had a rough month. Me and Plonk were sick all month long. I got in a car accident on Christmas Eve. I got rear-ended. It was brutal. Um, the good news is there's an addition to the Plonk family. There's a Plonk, there's Mrs. Plonk, and now there's a little Shari Plonk, a beautiful little black kitten that who knows, maybe she'll be on the show at some point. But anyway, so this is my version of a monologue. I'm counting down. It's probably been about 3 minutes. Plonk wants 4 or 5, so I'm trying to stretch it out a little bit. We got a great guest today, tonight, this afternoon, whenever you're watching it. Ronnie Barnett. He was in a band called the Muffs, a much beloved band from the '90s. I'm not much of a muffologist, at least not in that sense, but I do know their music a little bit, and I do know how beloved they are, and it's going to be great talking to Ronnie. I've been watching his. We've never actually met, but I've been watching his posts on Facebook, and they're always entertaining. So, welcome to the show, Ronnie.
Hey, Jeff, Plonk, what's going on? Thanks for having me. By the way, muff means mistake.
Oh,
All
sure.
right, I don't know what you're thinking. It means mistake. You know, in the football season, our band gets very popular during football season. The punter muffs a kick or whatever. Yeah. So,
Right. So anyway, so Ronnie, you were living in LA for a while. I live in LA, the greater LA area, and you moved to Sacramento. And I know the Central Valley a little bit. I went to high school in Merced. I lived in Merced for many years, and Merced just kind of like a smaller version of Sacramento without all the culture, if you can imagine that. So my question is. Were you trying to save money? Did you follow a woman? What would make you move from LA to Sacramento?
well, I moved. I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I moved to LA in 1989. Yeah, and what happened? Just to give you a compact version, the house. My landlady passed away. I lived in the same house in Echo Park for 25 years. Uh, Me and your friend Chris Bagarosi, we were roommates. We moved in that house together.
I
And
used to be roommates with Chris
yeah,
Beggars and his brother,
wow,
Dominic.
back
Yeah.
back. Oh yeah, Dominic. Woo.
I know.
Yeah,
I think he passed away, didn't he?
no, he's around. He's in. I think he's still in. Maybe he's out. He was in prison for a while.
He was definitely
Um,
prison bound when I knew him.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got. You get the calls. You're receiving a call from a state facility, and he'd be like, "Pick it up." You know. Um, yeah. Me and Chris go way back. Yeah. Anyway, my landlady passed away suddenly at age 61. She grew up in the house. She barely raised my rent the whole time I was there. It's a beautiful house, front yard, backyard, up on a hill, and and basically I couldn't. Besides just finding a new place would be kind of impossible with my budget. My girlfriend, now my wife, we're domestic partnership. I guess she's my wife. Um, she lived here.
Congratulations.
She lived up here. We've had a long distance relationship for it's going to be 10 years in a month or two. So I knew I'd end up here at some point, and I don't know. All things just pointed to me a change. My band ended brutally and suddenly, and you know, um, I don't know. It was just time. So, uh,
So
yeah.
So you were roommates with Chris Bagg.
Yeah.
I used to go to Chris Bagg's house and on the top of this hill, and we used to look down on the lights of downtown LA and drink these drinks called snoozers that he invented. Were you living there at that time?
Was that?
That would have been the early 2000s.
Yeah, yeah. That would have. We lived in a house in Silver Lake starting in like '94, something like that, and then we moved to Echo Park in 2000. Oh, actually, you know
Okay.
what? You probably he moved from the Echo Park in like '02. That's when he bought his own house. Him and Andrea, his girlfriend.
Okay. I
That's
think it
probably
was
the
about
house.
2007. I used to go
Yeah,
up
yeah, yeah.
there.
That's going to be that house. They're up on top of a hill. Beautiful. Yeah,
Okay.
beautiful view.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we came that close. But our house in Echo Park, I guess, was a big. It was just at the end of our street. It was kind of a cul-de-sac, and once Bob Forrest took me and Chris home, and Bob was like, "Oh, you live here?" When I used to do heroin, I used to park myself top of this hill because there was only like two directions you had to look, and it was, you know what I mean. So
The
uh,
halfway house when I got out of prison was in Echo Park. I love Echo Park. It's a
okay,
nice
yeah,
neighborhood.
no, me too, me too. And I still love LA. I go down, and I've been here like 15 months now. I go down when friends go on vacation. I house sit, so I just did 2 weeks there. Um, I work back at the old. I worked in record shops my whole life, basically my whole life. Besides the '90s, where I didn't have to work for a while. But yeah, I work back at the old shop, so I get to LA still sometimes. But there are definitely things I don't miss about the town, but I do miss it. I miss my friends, and
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper up there. When I lived in, I realized Merced is cheaper even than Sacramento, but I lived in Merced till about 2 years ago. I rented a three-bedroom house with a front yard, backyard, nice neighborhood, $1,000 a month. Now I
yeah,
rent a room in a house in Reseda for over $1,000 a month. So you can save a lot of money if you don't mind the blight and the crime and the gangs and the boredom.
yeah. No, my house in Echo Park was 1260 when I moved because my landlady liked me and barely raised the rent on me. So where's Merced exactly? I don't really know.
It's about 100 miles south of Sacramento on Highway 99 between Modesto and Fresno.
Okay, so I've actually passed through there then on a Greyhound.
I'm sure you have. If you're on Highway 99, you passed through.
Yes, yes. Visalia. Before it's Visalia,
Uh,
maybe.
that's a little farther south. Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
Merced. Like I said, it's about 30 miles south of Modesto, so it's about 60 miles south of Stockton, about 100
Yeah.
miles south of Sacramento.
So it's even hotter there probably than it is here during the summer.
In the summer, that whole valley gets to be about 110 every day. It's
Yeah.
miserable.
Yep,
You
yep,
guys
yep.
probably should be getting some fog around this time of the year, right? Thule fog.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's been foggy, it's been cold. It's cold. It's
Yeah,
the summer wasn't that bad here actually, this last summer. I think in
yeah.
LA too, it wasn't as bad as
The
lately.
year I moved from Merced, which would have been 2023, I think the hottest day was 118. So it gets hot in
Je-
that Central Valley. It's a great
Jesus
Central Valley.
Christ. Now does Plonk drop down sometime? Do we hear from Plonk occasionally? Does he pop
Plonk?
in? Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah. Like some
no.
of these
He's probably
podcasts where
cooking.
the
He's probably
producer
cooking
Plonk.
dinner, cleaning litter boxes or something. Go ahead and
Oh,
abuse him as much as you want. He loves
okay.
it,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. No.
we don't want to give him a chance to defend himself. That's the last thing we want.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You
I'm
said he
here
had a new edition.
right now,
Oh,
so
okay. You said he had a new edition. I thought he had a kid. I thought he was fertile. Thought he had a child.
they
But
have a new cat. They have a new
no,
cat,
fair enough. We got
little
cats
kid.
here, so I get it.
Yeah, I love cats. I've got two of my own. I love cats. So, also, Ronnie, one of the things I've noticed with your Facebook posts is you're a fan of the band Kiss. I can tell. And my last episode, I had Jason Kotwitz, Ginchy from the Oxys on here. He's also a Kiss fan. And you're going to appreciate this. When him
Yeah.
and his beautiful wife Erica first got together, she went to his house, saw the Kiss paraphernalia, and thought, "Oh, I know how to, tug at this guy's heartstrings." So she bought him an Ace Frehley mug. Okay, turned out though it wasn't really an Ace Frehley mug; it was a Tommy Thayer mug.
Oh,
And yeah, Jason was heartbroken, and it was almost a deal breaker. He said, "I mean, it's amazing they still got
hey.
married." I told him he's lucky it wasn't a Vinnie Vincent mug.
Well, that would be. I would love if it's. Look. She tried. All right. Let's give her some credit. She tried. She didn't. I can't fault her for not recognizing Ace Frehley from Tommy Thayer.
Vicky
You know what I
Vincent?
mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I'm nicer. Yeah. But yeah, the Kiss. You know, I think all of us our age are Kiss fans. You know what I mean? I think if we grew up, because younger people don't really understand. In fact, I think the Kiss fandom is really going to age out here soon.
Well, at some
Um,
point, you know, the
there's-
thing people don't realize is before they became mega, 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 like I got into them, I was just into them for a short time when I was about 14. Their Dress to Kill
yeah,
album was current. And that's when they were still
yeah,
sort of on the outside looking in. They didn't have the comic strips and the TV shows and all that stuff. They were
yes,
still kind of threatening. Eventually, they became something else. But yeah, it was hard to avoid Kiss in the 70s if you're a guy that had long hair and smoked pot and, you know,
yeah. No, and
played
that's the
played
era
guitar.
too. I was 10 and bought Dress to Kill. You know what I mean? Like, so I think you're slightly older than me, Jeff. Or I think you're a little older than me. I'm 60.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit older.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I bought, but I was done with Kiss by like 1978. Like at age 13. You know what I mean? I like Dynasty now, you know, but I didn't like it then. Yeah, I'd moved on. So,
yeah, I after Kiss Alive 1, I kind of lost interest because what was the one after that? Rock and Roll Over. I didn't really like it, but then I did like Love
huh.
Gun. I thought that was actually a really good record, Love Gun.
It was.
But that
I
was
would
probably
think
the
you would like
last.
Rock and Roll Over is a rock. I would think you would like that one. You might go back. It's, you know,
I don't
it's
know.
simple rock. It's good. You're a
I
rocker.
think at that point I was just growing up a little bit and felt like Kiss was maybe, I don't know, not the way I wanted to go. But like I said, after that Love Gun, I always liked Christine 16 and Shock Me, and I thought it was kind of cool they did Then He Kissed Me. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I for a minute there I was a Kiss fan. My mom actually took me to go see him a couple times in Fresno. I think I was about 14 or 15, and both times they canceled, so I didn't get to see them live in their heyday. But I'm sure that would have
Wow.
been a
Yeah, because there's a famous bootleg. There's a lot of bootlegs from Fresno. The is it the Selland Arena? Is that what it's called?
Cylinder Arena, right.
Yeah, they must have had professional like screens or something because there's a lot of bands have recordings from that place, like
Huh, I didn't know that. That's
online.
where I went
Yeah.
to concerts. I
Yeah.
went and saw Foghat there, and Heart, and Kiss, and Foghat was great. I thought they were really
No,
good.
those are the days. We would just go to shows just because if friends had a ticket, right? Like it'd be $10 and you just go. Like and there were show. What a great time it was. We're lucky to be
Yeah,
there.
and it was relatively cheap. Like the first time I saw the Ramones was at the University of Pacific in Stockton. Was $2.50 to get in.
Wow.
I saw the Clash's first American gig at Berkeley High School in 1979. It was 550, and it was them, Bo Diddley, and Pearl Harbor and the Explosions. It's like what a great show for $5.50. That's amazing.
That's that same tour. I had tickets in Houston, and the bill was them and Joe Ely in a local band called Legionnaire's Disease. And my brother
Hmm.
had agreed to take me, but he heard that the singer of Legionnaire's Disease jacked off on stage, so he's like, "I'm not going to that punk rock shit." So I still have the full tickets, and he still is embarrassed to this day. He's like, "I'm sorry about that." I think the guy pulled out his dick. I don't think he jacked off. Maybe he jacked off, but anyway, I didn't
So
get
I've
to see
got a
that
Muff
tour.
story that I want to tell
Oh
you.
yeah,
This
please.
was from must have been about, I don't know, mid late '90s, something like that. I was dating this woman, and I had never heard of the Muffs at this point. You guys were still like a going thing, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you got to hear this record," and she put it on, and the song that she played connected with me. It was about a woman named Nina who was a ballerina from Pasadena. I'm sure you know
Uh
the
huh.
song I'm referring to. And
Yeah. Yep.
every time I would go to her house, I'd put that record on. And I'm not very adventuresome musically, so I would never turn it over. But I would always play the side with, I think the song was called "Oh Nina." But
Yeah.
great song, by the way, really great song.
No. Thank you. And that's like song 2 or 3. I haven't heard the record in a while. Yeah. So you had to actually put the needle. You had to. Or if you played the whole side, then yeah, that's our
I
second
would
album,
lose
Jeff.
the little side, and I would
That
play
came
it
out in
over because I had
'95.
to keep hearing that Nina song.
Hey, you knowing one song by us is enough. I'm thank you. I never assume anybody knows our band. You know, we were around 28 years. You know, it was a nice run, but yeah, I don't walk in. I'm not the kind of musician. You know, how most musicians walk in a room and you know they're a music. They make it known they're a musician. I'm the opposite. Like I have to be like, you know, I was in this band. Maybe if I'm prompted, you know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
not like, hey, I was in this. You know, I played music. Yeah. Anyway.
I tend not to leave my cave, and so I don't need to get into all that stuff, but I'm afraid always that on my job someone's going to recognize me. Like I heard a story, a friend of mine, Francois Harrelson, that's in the band Motorcycle Boy. Him and his wife or girlfriend, they have a house cleaning business, and I don't think he's going to mind me telling the story. But one day they were cleaning somebody's house, and the guy came out, "Hey, you're the guy from Motorcycle Boy. Hold on a minute." And he ran into his room and got out a motorcycle record and said, "Hey, can you sign this for me before you finish cleaning my house?" I'm always afraid someone will recognize me at work.
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen. Yeah, Jeff, I see. Since I moved to LA in '89, I missed out on the Joneses, kind of. You know what I mean? So I kind of missed out on the Joneses heyday there. When I started working at the Dr. Dream record store, late '90s.
Oh,
It was like my second job when I moved out here. So I remember the Joneses record on Dr. Dream where you look like Poison. Like you go,
yeah.
right? I thought it was a heavy metal band. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
I
by '89, I was already in the depths of my drug addiction. I was about ready to go to prison. The Joneses had pretty much done whatever they were going to do in the '80s, and then I
yeah,
don't know. There's been some little flurries of activity since then, but yeah, we were more. I guess our heyday would have been between like '83 and '86, maybe. It was short.
nice.
If you blinked, you would have
Yeah,
missed it.
yeah. No, I read your book, Jeff. It's been a few years though. I moved and I don't know where anything is. But I need to reread your book. I remember really loving your book. So
Oh, thank you,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Where are you going to hold it up?
I'm glad to hear that. It's the only thing I've ever written, and I get a little pressure to do something else, but I've already written about myself. What else is there to write about? I mean,
Yeah,
anything else I'd have to like do research, and I might get some stuff wrong. But at least with this, writing about myself, who's going to question that? Unless other people that were there, and I don't know, they might have seen things a little differently than I did. But thanks,
no, that's
Ronnie.
true. The second book. Yeah, no. I love Hozak books. I love most books on that imprint or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, now that you mention it, Paul Stanley's second book is like a self-help book, right? He wrote the first book about his life, and then the second book's like about his exercise regimen and stuff. And yeah,
Wow.
so maybe you're right about that, Jeff.
Have you have you seen, speaking of Kiss again, have you seen the movie with I think it's Gene Simmons and is it John Stamos and maybe Vanity? I think it's called Too Young to Die or Too Old to Live or something like that, where Gene Simmons has the killer fingernail that he kills people with, and he's like a trans transsexual or
Oh
some kind of weird.
yeah. I know about. I need to watch. Honestly don't know his movies. Like there's
It's the
Runaway with
worst
Tom
movie ever.
Selleck.
You've got to
Yeah,
see
I
it.
knew
It's
he
the
played a
worst movie ever.
transsexual killer. Yeah, I do need to see that. Um,
It's incredibly bad, and I loved everything about
of course. Trick or Treat, he's in. Um,
it. Yeah,
yeah, I know
Gene
the
plays.
titles. Yeah.
Yeah, Gene plays this. Like I said, it's not a transvestite, transsexual, some kind of weird. He's like both sexes at the same time, hermaphrodite maybe. And I think he
Uh-huh.
he has like a cult or something, and he's like this cult leader, and he's got this long fingernail that he kills people with, and it's really great. And I think Vanity gets naked or partially. It's really great. Horrible,
Nice.
horrible, but great.
Of course. Yeah. Vanity and Gene Simmons, they were trying to have acting careers at that point. Yeah, it was
And
a great era.
I'm surprised Gene doesn't do he does these pay things where you pay to like hang out with them or carry his luggage or what, he doesn't make people pay every time they watch that, like a pay-per-view. Here's my movie, send me $500 and I'll let you watch it. Kind of like with the Vinnie Vincent, $200 per song. Have you heard about that with
I have.
his latest
I,
release?
I have. You know what these things do though? They get a lot of press. Like I think Gene probably maybe one person paid him to do that roadie thing. You know what I mean? It's not like he's selling that many people on paying that all that money, but it gets a lot of press. I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
Vinnie
true.
Vincent's been crazy for a long time. I mean, Vinnie Vincent chart. I love that most of this is about Kiss, by the way. This podcast, this is great, Jeff. Um, Vinnie Vincent charged people for a box set like 20 years ago and never came out. It never refunded their money. Like people pay like $150 like back in '97. Like that was a lot of money. That's still a lot of money now, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I was just going
Yeah.
to mention that if you knew anything about that. I'd read when this $200 per song thing came out, people were saying, yeah, it's like the box set that everybody got ripped off on. Uh,
Yeah.
So he advertised a box set, got people to pay for it, and then there was nothing.
Yep. And then nothing. That was his first rip off or whatever. Yeah, this thing with a
Wow.
song. I mean, and like 1,000 people got to pay the $200, so it's never going to happen. 1,000 people aren't going to pay $200 for one song. Plus, he's going to keep going like a whole album. This is his way to combat streaming or whatever. To get paid is to try and get people to. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of the streaming. Sorry, it makes me scream. But my royalty checks took a nosedive when that streaming stuff started. I used to get some healthy royalty checks, and then now they're like $38, $56. How is that how is that legal? I mean, how can they do that?
Well, it depends on the deal, right? There's not like people try to generalize. Like you'll see like 3 cents per stream. That's not like for everybody. I don't know. All the deals are cut down. I don't know. I'm not against it necessarily, just because it's something. You know what I mean? But I don't know. You never hear Taylor Swift bitch about it or anything. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You getting that a month? $38?
Oh no,
Or how-
quarterly. Quarterly.
Oh, quarterly. Okay. Oh, and you got to pay Plonk too. So that's a.
Oh man, I know it costs so much to put this podcast on. You wouldn't believe it. And the electricity in the house, we got to feed the cats. It's incredible. But yeah, that streaming stuff.
What are you
I've got this
vaping?
company.
What are you vaping there? What are you vaping there, Jeff?
Oh, it's called Juul. I used to be a dedicated cigarette smoker, and then when they became $50 a pack, I decided I had to find something cheaper to kill myself with, and this is the way I decided to go. Juul.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that advertised at 7-Eleven. Yeah,
it's all
Juul.
legal.
Okay,
it's not mind altering in any way. It just keeps me from spending $20 a pack on cigarettes, and I'm happy to do it. I'm happy for it.
Yeah,
and I'm drinking Dr. Pepper, as long as we're talking about my bad habits. I was a big water drinker, and then that got to be too boring for me, and I needed the caffeine. I didn't want to drink caffeinated water, and because I'm really conscious of my weight, and so I got to make sure I don't overdo it on the Coke, and that's actually Coke, that's not Dr. Pepper, but the brown sodas, they seem like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it could be that good for you. Anyway, but
no. Hey, I never drank much water until like getting older. I found I needed to drink more water, right? Like I was like a camel my whole life. I barely drink any water. But now, anyway. I don't mean to talk old man.
Water's good for you. I'm always thirsty, and the first thing I reach for is usually soda, and then I get to a point where it's like I got to stop drinking so much soda, and then I start drinking the water, and I'm like, this is really boring. There's no kick. I don't know. It's just water.
Gatorade. What about Gatorade?
I don't like Gatorade. It tastes like chemicals to me. It's nasty.
Okay. Because see, we need the electrolyte,
which is what plants crave.
But
I don't know. You got to drink something.
I met this doctor once at the record shop, and I'm talking about drinking water, and he's like, "What you need is electrolytes." And I was like, "Oh wow, you're right." And so the Gatorade, or even those powdered this is old man shit. I love it. I remember like 10 years ago, I was at Freak Beat, and they were talking about people just talking old man, like, you wouldn't believe the conversations we have. You don't need a gallbladder, stuff like that. Like,
just taking up space. I had Mike Lorman from the Stitches on here a while back, and we started talking about ice cream flavors, and so about 3/4 of our podcast was discussing different ice cream flavors. He's a big fan of Thrifty's chocolate malted crunch. I don't know if you remember that flavor. Thrifty.
Me too. Yes, I do. I didn't even buy it by the box. I love ice cream in a box, like the Thrifty. I know they have the cones or whatever, but the box, I don't know. I grew up with that, so.
You buy the quart or the half gallon or whatever. I'm currently on a kick where I like this brand called Tillamook. It comes from Oregon. It's really creamy, and German chocolate cake. That's my new fave, my go-to ice cream flavor.
God, now I want ice cream.
For a while, I was stuck on the Trader Joe's mint chocolate chip because the mint was real subtle. It wasn't overpowering, and it was white instead of green. Anyway, you're not into ice cream, so I won't bore you.
This is fantastic. No. I love it. So I'm more plain when it comes to ice cream. I just get chocolate. But the chocolate variants are all good with me. So,
Yeah. So, what record store do you work out up in Sacramento?
I actually just started working. I went like a year without working. Um, I actually work a couple days a week at the store where you did a book signing
Oh, Phono
a few
Select.
years ago. Phono Select,
With
yeah, with
I was
Dal.
gonna
Yeah,
ask.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I knew Dal for a long time. In fact, long time ago, he was in a band called Moist, and pre Muffs' first album, I we played them in Santa Barbara, and I got him a gig with us at Raji's, and so not that we stayed close all those years, but I did meet Dal way back then. So I was warning him. I knew I'd be moving up here at some point, so I kept warning him, like, you know. And then record stores, record stores now, it's not like the old days, right? It's like people people that are working at stores, like, they stay there, right? It's not like this revolving thing, like when there are music pluses or whatever. Just you just get a quick job there and put
Right,
out
right.
records. That's not the job anymore. Now we're like antique salesmen. You know what I mean? Like we have to judge every single record and title, and it's just different. But yeah, I'm in Phono Select, so it's a good. They're good. Dow's good people. The other couple of people that work there are great people. So
Yeah,
it's
I
hard.
had a good time at that store, and I was still living in Merced. That was right after the
Oh,
book came out. So I was still in Merced, and it was just like I said, 100 miles away. And that was probably the farthest north I went was Sacramento. And then I was doing book signings like down here. When I was younger, in fact, right before the Joneses, I say when I was still doing rockabilly with Steve Olson, I worked at the Tower Record Store in Anaheim. And it's like you said, there was
yeah,
constant people coming in and out, employees. And then when I moved here to the Valley, the San Fernando Valley, a couple of years ago, I thought I'll just get a job at a record store, and none
yeah.
of them are hiring. It's like what you can always get a job at a record store, not anymore, I guess, huh, Ronnie?
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't want it to sound too lofty and say it's a skill position, but it kind of is now. It's not just about putting out Sade records or whatever. Like, and I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's just different. It's just different. But Phono Select's cool. It's punk. As you saw, it's like punk themed, and Dow's really, all he does is talk about records.
He's got a
So
good dub selection too. I'm really into Jamaican dub music. When I did my signing there, I bought the soundtrack from Heart of the Come, and I also bought a Sly and Robbie. I think it was a 2 disc. I've got it right here, but I have to reach for it. I don't want to do that. But anyway,
nice.
yeah,
That's
that's a
okay.
great
Yeah,
record
yeah,
store. I had a good time
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. No, it's not too far from here, so it's all good. After a big move, it just takes a while to adjust, right? There's just no getting around it. It's like breaking up with someone. It's like there's no quick, easy way. Like takes time, right? So,
Yeah.
it's different. It's different up here, but it's quiet. It's weird, Jeff. I'm from LA. Like, it's like I've heard like 2 helicopters only in like 15 months. Like, you know, New Year's Eve was like 10 minutes of far off fireworks, and that was it. Like, no one's honking or booming bass on the street or yelling. Like, I'm from fucking LA. This is weird. The people at the shops are like, "You think it's gonna rain today?" So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
It's
You know.
definitely different. If you're used to LA, Sacramento is different. I really like parts of Sacramento. Me and my wife, when we were still in Merced, we went to go see the Blasters at this place in it had an ice cream place nearby. I can't remember the title, but it's by that fort in
Yeah.
down. You know what I'm talking about, in the historic part of Sacramento. I love
Oh,
that
old
part. I love all
old
that history.
sack. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hate to say sack. I don't do that,
Sac,
but
sac. Uh,
right,
Neil O'Neill used to call it Sacra Tomato. Making fun of because they're like agricultural, right? And the Sacramento
right,
Kings
right.
Tree of Dreams.
City of Trees. Yeah,
So,
the Kings. It's been a bad
like
season.
Sacramento, you think you could stay for a while, or what do you think about Sacramento? Just state
Yeah,
capital,
yeah.
you
No,
know.
no, no, no. Julie, my wife, like she owns this house. She's got a real job. You know. So
So you did chase a woman to Sacramento. I was
we're
right.
set. I guess I did. Yeah. No, kind of like going to LA. When I moved to LA, I moved there because me and Kim became a couple. Like, I dropped everything I was doing at age 24 and moved to be with Kim, and that's long before I thought I'd be a musician. Like, I played in bands in high school, but I gave it up. I started writing in Houston, and I
Uh
thought that's
huh.
what I would do. because like I'm like, oh, this is great. I get to talk to Sonic Youth. And I get free records, and I get to get in free, and I get to talk a bunch of shit. And like local bands hate me because I pan them. I was great, but I fell into being in my girlfriend's band, and that I wasn't supposed to be a musician. Like so, you know.
Wow. And so
Yeah,
the Muffs were mostly a power trio, right? For most of the time, you guys were a power trio.
yeah. Most of our career, we started off as a 4-piece, and we were a 4-piece for about first 2.5 years, and then what happened was our second guitarist left the band, and we were going in to make our second record, the one with Onina, and we thought we'd replace her, and we got an offer to open for Green Day at the Palladium. Now Green Day, I don't know if you know the Muffs Green Day connection. Like our A&R guy produced the first Muffs record, and then Green Day heard that record, they liked that record, they signed with him. Then he produced second record he produced was Dookie, right? So big success. Green Day took our managers, our booking agent, our accountant, everything. They got big. So anyway, uh, 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 the second guitarist left the band, and then so we went in to make the record, and we thought we'd get somebody, but we got this gig offer, and we're like, what are we going to do? Well, let's play as a 3-piece. So we booked a gig at Hell's Gate. I don't know if that place was around when you were as a three under a different name, not because we thought it was a big deal, but just Hell's Gate. It was at Yucca
Oh
and
yeah, Hell's
Palanga.
Gate, right there off of
Yeah,
Franklin,
yeah, yeah.
and I used to play there
Yucca
in
and,
that band Amanda Jones in the '90s. We played there.
okay, yeah. That was billed as the most dangerous corner in America at the time. I don't know if you remember that. Like
I
now, I don't know
remember
if
that
that was true. It's definitely not that way now. But yeah. No, we played as a 3-piece, and we're like, wow, this is actually more rocking. It's kind of cool. Like it's kind of cool when the rhythm guitar goes away during a guitar solo, and
Uh-huh.
and we're like, oh, it's more money at the end of the night.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we just
And what
stayed at
that
3-piece,
sort of deal was.
and we were at that 3-piece lineup since '94 to the till Kim died in 2019. So yeah, that's kind of the definitive lineup.
And
Though people
I'm sure
romanticize, yeah.
that must have been horrible. And I read a little bit about your Green Day connection today, and also about Kim and the ALS. That's what they call Lou Gehrig's disease, right? That's a horrible disease.
Yeah. No, it's really the cruelest thing that can happen, I think, because basically everything shuts down. Your speech and your body, brain is still fully going, so you're not dimensioning out or anything, which would be more humane in a way.
Ugh,
And there's no cure, so
right.
it's fatal, and it ran in her
Yeah.
family, and yeah, it was yeah, it's bad. It was bad. We when we played our last gig, we didn't know it'd be our last gig. You know what I mean? Like it happened pretty quick. So
Ugh, that's sad. I
yeah,
mean
age 56. Yeah.
like,
She was 56 when she died. So
oh my god.
yeah, but she it was bad, but she could still smile and laugh. So when I'd go see her, I'd still try to make her laugh. She was not public about it, so like when she did pass away, a lot of people were surprised by it, and it got much bigger reaction than like she would have been. She would have been blown away, like Elvis Costello praised her songwriting in a post. You know what I mean? Like it made the news. Like it was like the Who put us on the screen at the Hollywood Bowl. Like
Oh
all this
no.
stuff happened. Like when I told the story before, but when I eulogized her, I was like, I don't know where all these motherfuckers were when they were taking us for granted. But anyway,
Well, I wasn't kidding
um,
when I said you guys are a beloved band. I mean, you may have not been as big as Green Day or Guns N' Roses or something, but people that love your band
yeah,
really love your band.
yeah,
Really
no,
devoted followers.
that's the way I like to put it too. The people that did like us tended to like us a lot. So and stuff still happening. We have a release. I'm not supposed to talk about coming out. Um,
Then don't talk
just
about
in
it.
a few months. Yeah. I'm not supposed to say anything, but I got a big mouth.
Well, then
You know,
don't say anything, Ronnie. Uh, let's change the subject then on something a little happier. So you said you worked for Dr. Dream. I know those guys, or at least I did.
yeah, I wish I could remember. I don't remember any names anymore. Yeah, I lived. So Kim lived in the city of Orange, and so I moved to the city of Orange.
Okay,
And
I'm from Orange County.
yeah, I was right there a block from the Circle, right? So I just
Yeah,
wandered down there. They just opened a record store. They've been a label for a while,
right.
and I heard of the label. But yeah, I finagled a job there, and yeah, sold Swamp Zombies records and Jones's records and Andy
Joneses were
Preboy.
their
I'm trying to
first
think what else.
release as a label. We were their first
Joe. Oh,
release.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll be
Yeah, the
damned.
owner was this guy named Dave Hayes, who he passed
Yes.
away too. He had like a right wing radio show and stuff. But his father, Bob, was a real estate mogul and pretty much gave Dave an unlimited amount of money to start this record label. I think they bought that studio over there. I can't remember the street. AMS Studios were recorded and the record store and stuff, and a little too much cocaine.
Wow.
They spent all
Yeah,
dad's
yeah,
money
yeah.
on cocaine instead of what
Wow.
they should have been spending.
He became a right wing radio host after Dr. Dream or before?
After, like
Oh,
not long
after.
before
Okay.
he became, like when I knew him back in the mid 80s, late 80s, when Joneses were recording with them and stuff. He was always into kind of conspiracy theories and UFOs and aliens and stuff like that. And eventually he became, and he did a lot of cocaine, so he was very paranoid and stuff. And then
Yeah.
he got the right wing radio show, I think after Dr. Dream and obviously before he died, somewhere in that period between Dr. Dream and his death, he was a right wing radio talk shows. Mike Sessa told me that. Do you know Mike Sessa, the
That name
drummer,
rings a
Jones's
bell.
drummer?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know him, but no, that makes sense because looking back, Dr. Dream obviously had a lot of money behind them, because they released a lot of records. They had ads and promo posters and they weren't selling it. Eggplant wasn't selling a lot of records. You know what I mean? I can tell you firsthand.
Yeah,
That was one of the bands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, looking back, that there was some money behind that label.
yeah. It was from Dave's dad,
Okay,
Bob Hayes.
okay. Well, they treated me well as an employee, and got nothing bad to say about Dr. Dream. They're not remembered at all. Like I don't think anybody talks about that label anymore, except maybe with the Joneses. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? You don't hear. We're talking about them now like more than they've been talked about in the last 20 years, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
But so you own that record? Did you get the rights back? You own?
No, I don't really. I mean, I've I don't know. I don't know anything about law or legal or whatever. If somebody wants to put it out, I sell it to them. I mean, I don't have any idea how any of that stuff works.
Yeah,
Every few
yeah.
years, when I need a couple bucks, I let somebody put out some Joneses stuff, and that's just, I don't know. I should probably be a little bit smarter about all that stuff, but I'm just not.
No, it's all. Look, if somebody wants to do that work, let them do it. That's what I say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so many bands like tend to hold back. Like, oh, we're not earning every cent on this. It's like somebody's actually doing it and putting it out, and getting it done. There's something to be said for that. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
you had those beautiful Joneses reissues that came out of the early stuff. You know, they're great.
Yeah, that was great. That's another example of, and the timing was really fortuitous. It was right when I finished writing the book, this guy contacted me and said, "Hey, I want to put out everything that Joneses ever did, and it's like a 3-volume anthology
Yeah.
or whatever you call it." And like I said, the timing was great. It was right when the book came out. So when I was doing the book signings and stuff, I could sell vinyl at the
Yeah.
things, and it was really cool. And that happens about every, I don't know, 10 years or so. Like
Yeah.
in 2000, Long Gone John wanted to do that criminal history thing, and then
Uh-huh.
the guys in Chicago, Full Breach Kicks, they wanted to do something a few. And so yeah, like every 10 years, there's like this. Hey, let's put out a Joneses record. And like, cool, I'm broke. I need to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, hey, Long Gone John, very dear friend, but he'll do something without maybe getting the proper rights. That's for sure.
He also put out. He put out a bunch of stuff with, I think, with my brother's band, the Humpers, and then he also did
Yeah.
the record that I did with the vice principals, me and my brother.
That's right. Yeah. No, I know your brother. Me and your brother should have been closer. I don't know why we weren't, but I do. Scott's a great guy.
I'm not close with my brother. I think he's hard to get
Oh,
close
you're
to.
not? Okay. Well, sorry.
I mean,
We don't have to talk
not
about it.
physically.
Yeah.
He was in Portland, but and there were times growing up that we used to run around together and stuff. But we're both Angels, Los Angeles, California Angels fans, baseball wise. But yeah, we're just not very close. We've just grown apart.
Oh, the Angels. Don't bring that up. I love baseball. I can wear any jersey, but I won't wear Angels or Giants.
Really, those
I
are my
used to
two
live
favorite
by Angel
teams.
Stadium. I should have went when I lived there because I could have seen Nolan
My
Ryan.
dad worked
Um,
for the Angels when they opened Angel Stadium. I went to in 1967, they had the All-Star game there on my birthday. And my dad took me down on the field and I got to meet Mickey Mantle and Don Drysdale and
wow.
Willie Mays. And yeah, I wish I would have been a little bit older. I would have appreciated it a little bit more, but I'm sure my eyes were, actual baseball
No.
players. But yeah, I spent a lot of time at Angel Stadium in the 60s because, like I said, my dad worked for the team.
Well, that's
'Cause
fantastic then.
I was born in
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so hard on him then.
They
My
suck. I mean,
brothers. Well, they suck now. Yeah. But they have their. My brothers. My half brother's dad was the radio engineer for the Houston Astros. Their whole tour retired in like '88, so he saw every game. Colt 45s before the Astros. So I grew up going to the Astrodome sometimes in the '70s, and it'd be like, go play with that stuff, and it'd be like Cesar Cedeno's old glove, and I had a fully signed baseball that I played with. A little kid. I played with the ball. I didn't keep it. Yeah, that's what we did
I
as
heard that
kids, right?
the old Colt 45 Stadium was the most miserable stadium in the major leagues because there was, I guess, mosquitoes and stuff, and that's why they had to build the Astrodome because none of the other teams wanted to come to Houston and play.
That makes sense. I got a fondness for the Astrodome. The first show I saw, Jeff, was Elvis Presley at the Astrodome when I was 5.
Wow.
And then I saw him again when I was 7. So by the time I was 7, I'd seen Elvis twice. I know. How are we doing on time?
I'm checking
Look
it
at this,
right now. We
folks.
got a couple more minutes.
Look
And
at this,
that's how
folks. That's
they
Jeff without his
invented
glasses.
AstroTurf because they needed grass for inside the Astrodome. Before that, there was no AstroTurf.
Yeah. No, I know. And I'm sorry about that. Can you believe people
A
used
lot
to
of
play with
athletes screw up
AstroTurf?
their
It's
knees with
mind
that
blowing.
stuff.
Oh, it's like
So why do
concrete.
you hate
It's
the
mind
Giants
blowing.
so much there, Ronnie? I understand why you hate the Angels. Is it because you're a Dodger fan? Why do you hate the Giants?
Same reason. Same reason. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm a Dodger fan. You know what? The Angels. I like that original. It's when they changed the logo. I like that original, that capital A with the halo from the
The Halo duck.
'70s.
I've got two of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I like
I
that.
love
Yeah. I like that. It's when they. You know what really did it for me is when they changed the Anaheim Angels.
They've made a lot of bad choices. The periwinkle uniforms that they had in the 90s when Disney took
Yeah.
over and
Yeah.
when they put the
It was that, and when they
yeah.
changed to Anaheim, that's when I really turned on them.
Yes. And when they let the Rams move to Angel Stadium, they closed it in. It used to be like a horseshoe shaped thing with the big A in the outfield. And then the Rams moved in. They had to turn it into a football stadium. It's been downhill ever since. They were good until they've never been good. Well, 2002. But yeah, Angel
Yeah.
Stadium was great, like you said, up till about 1979. And then since then, they've just been searching for. They keep changing the uniform, and they got to
Yeah.
bring the halo back for the top of the caps. That's for
I
sure.
think so too. I went there. I
Yeah.
never thought I'd go there, Jeff. I went there once to see you too. And I remember I walked in, I was like, I can't believe I'm in this fucking place.
I saw the Rolling Stones there. 1978,
Nice.
I saw the Rolling Stones there. I also saw Dylan and the Dead. That was one of the worst concerts I ever went to. Was Bob Dylan at Anaheim Stadium. It was horrible. The audience was entertaining, but man, the music was just painful. God.
No, I just read a book by the guy who did promotions for Columbia Records, and he's like, Dylan and the Dead, everybody was excited. And then they heard the record, and they're like, oh, God, this is a stinker. So they tried to get all the press and radio on it before they heard it. Like there were no advance copies. Like, those are the days, the record business. You just think like that. No advance copies, don't let them hear it. So they got all the ads and everything, and then it went boom. You didn't see Kiss there to bring it full circle, Jeff?
What's
Kiss at
that?
Anaheim State. You didn't see Kiss at Anaheim Stadium, 76?
No, I never got to see Kiss live. Like I said, my mom took me to see him twice in Fresno at
Okay,
Selland Arena. Both times they
that's right.
canceled. I was so
Oh,
bummed.
that's right. That's
I
right.
was
You weren't down
14
there.
or 15. We went to the movies instead, and that's where I saw the movie. Have you ever seen Bambi Meets Godzilla?
No,
It's a short.
I know what it. I know. Yes, yes.
Went and saw that instead. So I got
What,
something. But
what
I
was
think
that playing
everybody
with?
cancel in Fresno. I went and saw. My mom also took me to see Queen at Selland Arena, and they also canceled. So I think Fresno is just one of those towns where people cancel.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder what. I wonder if the ticket sale. I wonder if they just. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's too many cancellations to be like just random. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's like, well, we
Yeah.
just did San Francisco last night. We're doing LA tomorrow. Let's just take the night off and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
cancel.
yeah. My voice needs a rest. We'll just cancel Fresno. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Oh
Ryan, we
well.
do have to kind of wrap this up. It's been great having you on the show. I'm glad we finally got to talk and stuff. I had a feeling, that we were sort of kindred spirits reading the stuff that you post on Facebook. I really got to, before we get going, I got to say, I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that stuff where you had superimposed your face over, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah. I just want to say to anybody that know what you're talking about, I don't ask for people to do that. Like I have one friend, Thomas Walsh in Ireland, that tends to do that. He does the ones that are really good. Yeah. So I don't ask. He does it, and
Okay.
yeah, I try to just be entertaining, or sometimes I get a little emotional in there, but I don't get political, or there's enough of that.
Yeah, we don't talk about
I
politics on the
I
show
try to
either.
be funny or post photos of myself or interesting records or whatever. Yeah. So
Yeah,
thanks for noticing, Jeff. And yeah, I'm sorry we didn't meet sooner, but we know each other now. And this was fun just to talk. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We didn't even
yeah,
really get into we didn't talk about it's great. We didn't need to talk about my career or anything. It's enough of that.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, people look for a new Muffs release in a couple of months and put that together. You can maybe put the
Okay, so
pieces
we've
of
got
that
the scoop
together.
here, right? Breaking news. I can post it all over my Facebook and make
It'll
announcements. No, okay,
I'm
absolutely
giving
not.
hints. I'll be able to talk about it in a month. That's a
Okay,
big
well,
hint.
I have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
have
yeah,
you back on again. But
yeah.
well, good luck with all that stuff, Ronnie. And I hope everything you do is prosperous for you. And I hope that everything's worked out in Sacramento. It's actually not that bad of a place. I make fun of the Central Valley because, like I said, I lived in Merced for so long, and it's a butt of a lot of jokes. But it's the breadbasket of the country, and it's the capital of California, and it's really not, like I said, compared to
Yeah,
some place like Merced, it's a big, thriving cultural hotspot. Maybe not compared to
yeah.
LA, but
No,
you know,
another thing too, being here, I don't have a problem asking to be on a guest list here. It's fantastic for that. In LA, you can't get on a guest list, but I was backstage at Cheap Trick. I, I've guested. Me and Roy, we played a Muff song with the Linda Lindas. Like, I don't know. I'm able to get in shows here. I'm going to go to Weird Al. Yeah. So it's fine. Yeah, yeah. No, Sacramento gets a bad rap, but it's okay. It's okay,
yeah,
folks.
it's a big city.
Yeah,
You can have
but
a lot
don't
of fun,
move here. There's enough people moving here. It's
right?
going to be bad. I'll have to go to Fresno soon or Merced.
Or Modesto or Merced. Yeah, God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, Ronnie, it's been great
All right,
having you,
Jeff.
man. Like I said, good luck with everything you do, and we'll talk soon.
Yes. Stay in touch, Jeff. See ya.
Okay. Bye, buddy.
All right. This is it.